Okay, now where had you rather our attention go? To you? Okay.
Well, tell me how you were feeling sitting out in the crowd and listening to your daughter brag on you today.
Well, I don't guess there's really a way to say just how you feel, but I was as proud as I could be. I sure was.
Now, what I really want to know is what a spoiled little brat Barbara was, because that's what Erlene and the other one keep telling me. What do you think?
Well, you can't believe everything those other two girls will tell you, you know. She didn't have enough time to be too mean because I kept her as busy as I could.
Yes, you did.
And
Do you remember, Daddy? It went through my mind, I don't know, in the last couple of days. I remember when we were in that old bus and you'd drive us to the jobs that you booked and so on and so on. And I remember you saying to me, if we can get 3 dates a month even, we can make it. We can hang on.
yeah.
It was based on, I think
Well, when
it makes you grateful when it goes, when you really see it come around. So he did amazing things.
Well, I took not a lot of jobs, but quite a few where we did it on commission, and those I'd try to find somebody in the area that was pretty good with their mouth talking, and we did quite well on those. And actually, back there then, a commission job was pretty hard to fulfill.
What was it that you saw in Barbara that you knew she was going to be a good musician and singer?
She had it in her. In other words, I could sing one of the old songs back there then, and if I wasn't careful, she would sing that same verse right back to me without knowing it, without knowing the words. She just caught on real easy, and she read. I think one thing helped her. She learned reading of music, how to read music, before she learned how to read writing.
I forgot to mention that my mama taught music, and she taught the accordion and all, and taught me when I was 5, and I forgot to mention that. But they're both musical.
And another thing back then, I had a music store, which Barbara didn't mention, but I had a music store in Oceanside, and people would come down there. There's a nightclub that's pretty popular, Rose Maddox, a nightclub out there then, and guests would come in there. Well, they would kind of automatically come up to the music store just to kill time during Saturday afternoon. We met a lot of people that way, and it was a lot of fun. And when we went overseas, Barbara mentioned Vietnam, we did the whole thing, starting down in Vietnam all the way up to and including South Korea, where we was up on a mountain and looked down below and see the trucks from the other side running. The communists, the North Koreans.
It was stuff that I could never describe. You see it in the movies or you read about it in a book, but to be there, I'll never forget, never. And maybe that's why we're extra big flag wavers. We just our military. He was in World War II. Ken was the Navy pilot. My father-in-law, who passed away last year, he was Army in World War II. And my brother-in-law was in Vietnam, and I just, God bless our military. And I'm so glad Daddy put us in a position where we could entertain them. But then later, when we had... when it was the big shows and stuff, too, I loved, because Daddy, I needed his advice. When I did specials for CBS that were mine, I also hosted for other people. But you got to have that person on your side that's really watching out for you, and Daddy always did that. So I'm thankful. The name Mandrell I got from my dad. That's my maiden name. So we got to see it together when it goes on the wall up there, okay?
Okay. All right. The Lord's willing, I'll be here looking.
And me too.
Tell me, you said you feel like both of you are going in when you go in. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, everything I did, Brad, it was right at 39 years. If I'd have hung on just a few more months, it would have been 39 years when I retired. And all but the last 5 years of that, my father was my partner, my man. Yeah, and I've never heard, I think everybody's career has a different story, of course. There's no two alike. But I think ours was most unique because it was a very lasting And I don't know of another one that was, but a very lasting father-daughter, artist-manager relationship, you know. And
Well,
I couldn't have done it. I just couldn't have done it without him. It was too. Everything depended on him getting me to where and meeting the right people and getting the right exposure and getting this job or that, you know. So I don't think so.
Well, I used to manage you different too. A lot of people try to. It's like a boxer. You can't tell a boxer to go jab, 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 and then knock the guy out. He's got to do what he feels is right. Well, instead of me telling her what to do, I'd say, here we are. We got two things we can do. We can do this. 6 months from now, it'll help us do that. We do this 6 months from now, help us do that. Now, which road do we want to take? And we chose together, I'd say, which road we were going to take. And I overrode if she ever didn't agree.
He would teach me too. It was never that old joke of, don't worry your pretty little head about it, we'll take care of it. He always wanted me aware of the business side of the business, and for that I'm most grateful too. But also we had many big babooms between us when we would disagree, but that's what, I mean, one of us wouldn't be earning our money or doing our job if we didn't have different ideas, you know,
right.
too. But
Well, also you were my shotgun too at night traveling. I've driven out of Nashville not just once or twice, but several times, and I'd go into New Mexico, sleep 2 hours, and drive into L.A. So from here to L.A. had 2 hours sleep. Now I've done that several times.
we did what we had
and we
to
would
do.
stop in a shopping center, and everybody that did other things except my wife, they could all go to a movie in the afternoon, and I could sleep.
It was a great way for the family. It was a great way. And I couldn't have had a band as early on as I did, except for Louise and Earlene, because, see, they didn't get paid unless we got paid. So it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
But this is an exciting, marvelous day that my family has made me feel that they're so joyful about, too. And I know Dad and I, it was every step of the way. It was we two. And I thank you, Daddy.
We met an awful lot of nice people in other occupations, also in music, like Rosie here today. Her husband, he was a very, very close friend of mine, and other people in the business. And I just love it.
Like Brad, that all three of your daughters love. We all love Brad.
And by the way, you'll probably cut this, but I do read your column every day. But now you've done changed it around some.
Yeah, we'll get it
That's
back.
how he's pretty on TV, too.
Yeah. But you don't get the reading on TV.
When you do